Good day everyone. So we are the group 3. So our topic is about the balancing demand and productive capacity and co-creation of quality service failures and service recovery. So let me introduce myself. So I'm Princess Jean P. Bagnol. So the first topic is the balancing demand and productive capacity for quality service. Service organization must consider the different factors that affect demand capacity. These factors may result in conditions to managers in maintaining the productive operation of the company. Most service organizations are faced with the predicament of having fixed capacity and unpredictable demand. Unfortunately, as discussed by Zeta Mail, Bittner, and Grimmer in their book Services Marketing 7th edition 2017, at any given moment, a service organization may face any of the following conditions: excess demand, demand exceeds optimum capacity, balanced demand and supply at the optimum capacity. So, balancing demand and productive capacity is a daily challenge for service manager who must maximize the use of fixed resources, just like hotel rooms or staff hours that can't be stored, while facing unpredictable customer flow. This leads to three-case situation. Excess demand is a chaotic state where demand exceeds the maximum capacity, forcing the company to turn away customers and lose business. Demand exceeds optimum capacity is the stressful danger zone where all customers are served, but staff are rushed and facilities are strained, causing the quality of service to decline. Like for example, slow food service or dirty rooms. And the ideal goal, the balanced demand and the supply at optimum capacity, is a perfect rhythm where resources are utilized fully but comfortably, ensuring the company maximizes profit while consistently delivering excellent service and securing the customer satisfaction. Thank you.
So next is the basic approaches to managing demand. So managers can choose how to react or plan for fluctuating demand. So A is take no action and leave demand to find its own level. So the business does nothing to control demand, they just accept it. So like for example, sa small inn, it allows walk-in guests only and no reservation. So if it's full, guest wait or find another place. If not, rooms stay available. So next is reduce demand during peak period. So when too many guests want the service at once, so the business tries to lessen the crowd. Like for example, sa tour company na nga nag-charge sila og higher tour package prices during holidays para ma-reduce nila ang crowd and ma-encourage ang traveler to book on regular days. So next is increased demand during low period. So when a business is low, they try to attract more guests. Like for example, sa Hotel Baron nga mag-offer sila og stay 2 nights and get 1 free during the rainy season para maka-attract sila og more visitors or guests. So next is the inventory demand using a queuing system. So if guests can't be served right away, they are asked to wait in line. So for example, at the theme park, tourists line up at the ticket counter or rides and are served in order. Next is the inventory demand using reservation system. So guests book ahead of time to secure their slot or services. Like for example, sa fine dining restaurant in a hotel. So hotel uses a reservation system para makabaw sila kung pila ang customer ang moabot o para maka-prepare sila sa table in advance. So next is molding demand pattern through marketing mix elements. So marketing mix can be used to influence or shape customer demand to make it more balanced throughout time. So first is using price and non-monetary cost. So changing price or adding effort, time as a cost to influence when and how customer are serviced. So like for example, a hotel offer cheaper weekdays rates and airline charge more for Friday, Sunday to travel. So this encourage people to travel during off-peak times, spreading demands more evenly. Second is change product elements. So adjusting what is offered or feature, variety, or quality to match available capacity. So like for example, a resort simplifies its restaurant menu during busy season to speed up service. So, to reduce pressure on staff and ensure quicker guest turnover without lowering service quality. Third is modify place time of delivery. So changing when or where the service is offered to shift customer behavior. Like for example, sa time. Sa time, kay a hotel offers early check-in or late out check-out to avoid crowding. So sa place, kay a tour agency open temporary booking desk at popular attraction. So this adjustment spread demand more evenly and improve guest flow. So fourth is promotion and education. So using marketing campaigns or guest information to change behavior. Like for example, a tourist board promote lesser known or destination to reduce crowding in hotspot. So this help shift tourist traffic to other places, improving sustainability and spread revenue.
So first, we have the managing capacity. So managing capacity means making sure the business has the right amount of staff, space, and resources to serve customers efficiently. So for example, a hotel hires extra housekeeping staff during summer vacation to handle more guests. So second, we have the stretching capacity levels. So stretching capacity means finding ways to serve more customers without adding permanent resources. So for example, restaurants adds outdoor tables or ask employees to work overtime during weekends to accommodate more diners. So third, we have the aligning demand and capacity. So this means balancing the number of customers with the available service resources so no one is left waiting. So for example, a theme park offers online ticket booking to control visitors numbers and avoid overcrowding. So the last one, we have the strategies in modifying demand to match existing capacity. So these are the ways to reduce or increase customer demand depending on how busy or slow the business is. So one of the example is a resort offers rainy season packages with lower room rates, free breakfast during off-peak months to attract more guests when bookings are usually low.
Strategies in adjusting capacity to meet demand. So, the goal is to make sure that business can serve customers well when there are many or few of them. When there are customers, it increases capacity. And when there are few, it reduces or adjusts it to save money. First, increase capacity temporarily. It means adding more resources only for a short time when customer demand is high. A. Extend people, facilities, and equipment temporarily. So it means hire extra staff or use more space or machines for limited time. So for example, a resort hires more cleaners during summer season. B. Use part-time employees. So, hire part-timers instead of full-time workers. So, example, a restaurant hires part-time waiters during holidays. C. Teach workers to do different jobs so they can help where needed. So, for example, a hotel receptionist can also help with checkouts. Letter D. Outsource activities. So let other companies do some tasks for you. So for example, a hotel hires an outside laundry service. And letter E. Rent or share facilities and equipment. So borrow on stair equipment instead of buying new ones. So for example, two catering businesses share a kitchen for big events. So the second is address use of resources. So it means using your existing resources wisely depending on demand. Or it also called chase demand strategy. Letter A, schedule downtime during periods of low demand. So it means close or slow down operations when business is quiet. For example, a beach resort does repairs during rainy season. Letter B, perform maintenance and renovations. So fix or upgrade equipment when there are fewer customers. So for example, a hotel repaints rooms in off-season. Letter C, schedule vacations and employee training strategically. So let employees take leave or attend training when demand is low. So for example, a tour guides train during months with fewer tourists. And letter D, modify or more facilities and equipment. So rearrange or adjust equipment for better use. For example, a cafe moves tables to make space for big groups. And letter E, encourage customers to perform self-service. So, let customers do some tasks themselves. And for example, a fast food restaurants with self-order kiosk. And letter F, ask customer to share. So let customers share space or resources. So for example, a carpooling services or shared hotel room for groups. And letter G, create flexible capacity. So it means make system and staff ready to adjust fast to changes. So for example, staff who can easily switch between different rules. Increase demand to match capacity. So it means trying to attract more customers when business is slow. A, educate customers. So teach or inform people about your service benefits. So for example, a gym offers free classes to show the value of membership. Letter B, convert how the facility is used. Use your place or equipment for other purposes. So for example, a hotel ballroom is rented for weddings or meetings. And letter C, modify the service offering. So it means change or add new services to attract more customers. So for example, a cafe adds delivery service during slow days. And the last one is the differentiate on price. So offer discounts or promos to get more customers. And for example, movie theaters give cheaper tickets on weekdays.
So good morning everyone. My topic is productive service capacity. So productive service capacity refers to the total resources like equipment, facilities, infrastructure, and labor that an organization uses to deliver goods or services. It shows how much service a business can provide efficiently. So the main resources are equipment. So equipments are tools or machines used in service. Example kay sa kitchen appliances in a restaurant. Yeah, facilities. Facilities are buildings or spaces like hotel rooms, dining area. Yeah, infrastructure kay support systems like electricity, internet, or reservation system. Another one kay labor, the employees or service staff who interact with customers. So example, hotel has 100 rooms. So mo na ang facility, yeah, cleaning equipment, an online booking system kay mo nang infrastructure. Yeah, ang 50 employees kay labor. Yeah. Its productive capacity is how many guests it can serve effectively with these resources. For example, 100 guests per night. Next, kay yield management. Yield management or revenue management is a strategy used to maximize income by selling the right services to the right customer at the right time for the right price. It helps companies adjust prices depending on the demand and capacity. So, formula ani kay yield kay actual revenue over potential revenue. Yeah. Example kay if an airline has 100 seats total capacity, if all 100 seats were sold at the maximum price of 10,000, the potential revenue is 1 million. If only 80 seats were sold at an actual average price of 8,000, so ang actual revenue niya kay 640,000. So 640,000 divided by 1 million equals to 0.64 or 64%. Meaning, ang airline kay na-achieve niya ang 64% sa possible revenue. So, sunod kay possible problems. Loss of competitive focus to focus on pricing and forget service quality. Customer alienation. Different prices may confuse or anger customers. Overbooking, selling more seats or rooms than available. Incompatible rewards kay staff bonuses might not align with fair pricing. Next problem kay poor organization, mismanaging the yield function causes inefficiency. So sunod kay waiting lines and queuing system. Queuings or waiting lines occur when customers' demand is higher than service capacity. Good management of waiting lines helps improve customer satisfaction and operational efficiency. So strategies to manage queues. Audit the operational process, checks what slows down the service. Institute a reservation system, schedule customers in advance, differentiate waiting customers, use VIP lines or express counter. So example ani kay a restaurant uses an online reservation system, so customers don't have to wait long for a table. This reduces queues and improves service flow. So different types of queues. Single line sequential stages. One line for multiple steps. Example kay mag-order, mobayad. Another one kay parallel lines to multiple servers. Several lines for different cashiers. Single line to multiple servers. One line feeding several counters. Example ni kay banks. Designated lines, different lines for different services. Take a number system. Common in government offices or clinics, kinanggan kag number. Waiting lists for seated services like restaurants. Example kay in a bank, customers takes number and wait until their number is called. This is a take a number system. Psychology of waiting time. How customers feels about waiting affects their satisfaction. An occupied time feels longer. Waiting with nothing to do seems slower. Example kay a restaurant provides menus or entertainment while the customer waits. So sunod kay pre-process waits feel longer than and pre-process waits. Example, waiting to be seated feels longer than waiting for food after ordering. Anxiety makes waits seems longer. Unexplained waits feels longer than explained waits. Unfair waits feel longer than fair waits. So the more valuable the service, the longer the customer will wait. Solo waits feel longer than group waits. That is all.
Morning everyone. My topic is all about different types of queue. Queue lines are waiting system used in services like bank, restaurants, or stores. Number one is a single line sequential stage. Online where customers go step by step to different service points. Example, in fast food order, and you pay, then you get the food. Then number two is parallel line. to multiple servers. Many lines with their own servers. Example, supermarket, cashiers, where each counter has its own line. Number 3, single line to multiple servers. One line serves multiple counters. First customer goes to the next available server. Example, in a banks or in McDonald's, in counter lines. Then number 4 is designated lines. A specific line or certain services or customers. Example, an airport has a separate lines for check-in, baggage, or business class. Number 5, take a number. Customers get a number and wait, and it's called example, government officers or clinics. Number 6, a waiting list. Customers sign up or reserve and wait to be called later. One example was letter A, parties, size, seating group. Customers wait for a table that fits them. Then VIP seating, special seats reserved for important guests. Mga VIP na siya, kana mga important guests. Ano siya. Then next is call ahead seating. Customers call first to serve a spot. Then large party reservation for big groups that need special arrangement. Mga kanang dagko nga mga kuan event nga na. Then a psychology of waiting times. How many people fed and think while waiting affects their patience and satisfaction. Unoccupied time feels longer than occupied time. Waiting feels shorter if customers are busy or entertained. Example, playing music or showing videos in waiting areas. Number 2 is pre-processed wait feels longer than in-process wait. Waiting before serve starts feels worse than waiting during the service. Example, waiting to be seated feels longer than waiting for food. And 3, anxiety makes wait seem longer. So people worry, so ang mga tao is makuan tungod sa dugay sige paabot, so people worry that they might be forgotten, nalimtan na ba sila o sa ilang order, nalimtan na ba, and making time feel slower. So an example is a passenger unsure if the bus will come feels the wait is longer. Then unexpected waits are longer than explained waits. If no reason is given, waiting feels longer. Example, telling customers the system is loading. Help calm them. So, truan na kanang nakatabang pod ang kuan kanang musulti jud ka tinud sa customer na kanang system is loading while kanang nagpaabot sila kay kanang di pod lalim magpaabot, helps para mausa sa na maka-calm sa customer. Then unfair waits are longer than fair waits. People hate when others skip the line or get served first. Example, if someone cuts the line, others feel they waited longer. And then another example is the more valuable the serve, the longer the customers will wait. So customers are more patient if the service is important or high quality. Example, people wait longer for a good doctor or a popular restaurant. Next is solo waits feel longer than group waits. Waiting alone feels slower than waiting with others. Example is waiting with friends feels faster than waiting alone. Other one is physically and comfortable waits feel longer than comfortable waits. If the place is hot, noisy, or has no sets, the wait feels longer. Example, standing in a crowded line feels worse than sitting in an air-conditioned area. And that's all my report. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Griffith Erin Mamitas. So, the next topic is we have the co-creation of quality service. So, what is co-creation of quality service? So, the co creation of quality service is that the idea that customers are no longer just passive recipients. So, they are active partners in generating the final value and quality of service. So the key concept is the value co-creation. So the customer's involvement in the service process is crucial because it helps the firm better meet their specific needs, leading to higher quality and a competitive edge. So we have, for example, Ani is in self-service. So if you're a traveler, so for example, a traveler checking themselves in for a flight using an airport kiosk or a mobile app. So the benefit of this is the airlines, it reduces labor cost and increases efficiency. So while the travelers saves time and has control over their seats selection. So, mao na siya ang benefits of the co-creation of quality service in self-service. So another example of the co-creation is we have the product development. So the customer's action or the co-creation of this is a user giving detailed feedback on a beta version of a new app. So the firm benefit of this is a company can refine the app to fix the bugs or sa mga problems sa kananga app and add features that directly addresses real world user needs, making the final product higher quality. So because of the feedback of the users, so the company ma-help nila to fix what is unsay problem. So matagan na yung solutions. So next, we have the customers as extended employees. So this concept, customers are extended employees, simply means that customers actively participate in the service production process. So essentially, acting as temporary unpaid staff for the organization. So for example of this is we have the information services. So um, if a customer using an ATM to withdraw cash, so or deposit a check, so the bank avoids the needs for a human teller for routine transactions. So and the customers get 24/7 service access. So example ani kay we have the customers enters their PIN and transaction details, so providing effort information to complete the transaction themselves. So wala na hassle pa kundi mabuhat nila by their own. So next, we have here na number one, the customers as proponents to quality service. So this perspective is recognized that the customers' active involvement can be the primary driver of quality service. So when the customers contribute their effort, information, and time, so example na precise medical history, detailed customization requests, they enable the organization to tailor the service exactly to their needs. So this personalization and accuracy result in a superior, more relevant service outcome. So examples, if a patient's meticulously following post-operative care, so instructions ensures the medical outcome is successful in high quality. So the patient's adherence is essential to the quality it's delivered. Next, number two, we have the customers as competitors. So the perspectives of highlights the risk and heavily involved customers can potentially displace or undermine the organization staff and traditions service offerings. So by performing tasks previously done by the employee like assembly, research, or basic troubleshooting, customers may begin to feel they can provide the entire service for themselves or through a third party non professional, diminishing the perceived value of the original service provider. So examples, if a customer is successfully using online tutorials for purchasing components to repair their own computers instead of hiring a certified technicians, so the customer's increased capability directly competes with the firm's repair services. So last but not the least, we have the self-service technology or the SST. So self-service technology or the SST refers to a tools and systems that allows customers to create or obtain service outputs exclusively on their own without direct interaction with the company's employees. So why organization use SST? So cost savings, number one. So by replacing manual employee to man by replacing manual to employee-led processes with technology, organization saves money on personal service. Number two, meeting customers' demand. So modern clients expect convenience and ease of doing the business. So SST allows customers to access information, make purchases, and complete transactions 24/7. So for example, via the internet. So dali na jud kaayo, di ba, with the use of technology, the internet. So mabuhat na gyud nato in just one snap, one click, and so on and so forth. So organization without online access are considered as disadvantage. So example ani, di ba, we have the online banking, di ba? Dali na lang kaayo with the use of technology, cell phones or mga app, di ba? So by using by online banking, so transferring money or checking balances via mobile app. So dali na lang jud kay dili na pareha mga patag mga machines to check or mga patag mga any bangko sa ato ang places to check, di ba? So dali na lang kayo in just using a phone in the comfort of your home. So the success of SST depends on proper communication to the customer, so they clearly understand and accept the shift away from personal service. So that's it for my report, and thank you so much.
Name is April May Adolfo, and my topic is all about the SST. It means that self-service technology. So it means that customers can avail or perform service on their own without any help from employees. Then, like for example, when you order a food through kiosk from the McDo, Jollibees, or any machines that can help us the service they provide, mo na ang makaingon kag self-service. Next, we have the advantages and disadvantages of SST. So first, we have the convenience. The customers can do transactions easily. Like for example, they can book a hotel even anytime they want, or even a midnight or morning, afternoon. Yeah. And next, we have the control. So control is customers can easily choose what they want. So like for example, you can choose a seat in airline app. And next is the less cost, is that company saves you money because of they don't need any staff. Yeah, like for example, a restaurant self-using self-ordering kiosk instead of kanang cashiers yes, kanang through through self-service machine. Yeah. Next, we have the efficiency. Transactions become faster and smoother. Like for example, paying using self-checkout counters like supermarket. So next, we have the disadvantages of the SST. First, we have the machine failure or breakdown. Technology can stop working anytime. Like for example, in the kiosk of Jollibee, Kay suddenly kanang kalitrag kanang mag-freeze ka while ordering. Ina na ba? Mo na mga error may. Next we have the poor design or not user friendly. Some system kay kanang maglisod kag gamit. Like for example, kanang mga tiguang kay kanang tiguang nga customers like maglisod gyud sila kung saan pag gamit sa kanang machine. Next we have the limited option. Kaning machines might not handle anang special request. Like for example, a customers can ask for no ice or extra sauce in the food kiosk. Like for example, kanang mag-order ka through technology sa Jollibee, kanang mag-order ka example extra sauce na inana, pero sa machine kay wala dito. Kundi ato ra jud ka makaingon sa in the counter na. So next we have the guest involvement and customers participation. So this talks about the how customers play an active role in producing or improvement of a service. Like sa mga involvement nila, mga quality, kanang service or customer satisfactions and on company productivity. So next is the determine the role of customers. Different services require different levels of participation. Like for example, sa restaurant, customers just order and eat, minimal participation. So in fitness program, customers need to be active and to achieve results. So makakuha jud ka mga high participation. So organizations must identify how much the customer should be involved. So it should be find and inform and reward the right customers once the business know the customer's role. So they should train or inform them properly and even reward from helping. Yeah. So like for example, a hotel may give loyalty points or discounts to a guest. And then kanang sa mga kinsay nag-book online or use service system properly, gaan sila mga reward. Yeah. Kanang gaan sila reward or discounts inana. So next we have the manage the customer segments rather. So different customers have different needs and habits. So companies should be manage them properly. Like for example, in a supermarket there are many express counters for customers like buying only few items and separate counters like kanang ginahan sila daghan-daghan nga pamaliton. So they helps avoid long lines. So ang mga tao kay dili mag rumble, kanang di magkagupot. So they kept everyone satisfied. So next we have the service failure and service recovery. Kay usahay man gyud ang service kay ma-fail niya, ang usahay ma-late inana. So usahay pod unavailable ang van inana, na tunay mga service o ginana niya pati pod ang ilang quality nga service inana. So like for example in a hotel, as a guest nag check-in ko early but my room is not ready yet. So that problem is ang company jud ang mag-fix ana. So like they giving free meal discount and sincerely apology to the guest. So mo na mga mo nang example sa service failures and service recovery. So sum up the all topic about the self-service technology and customer participation is to help the business improve and productivity and about the customer satisfactions, but they must be also careful and with technology about the problems and make sure that every customer feels guided and valued. That's all. Thank you.
So, good day everyone, especially Miss Bongo. I will be reporting the service failures and service recovery. So, what is service failures and service recovery? Service failure happens when a service does not meet the expectation or standards of the guest. So example, when the service is delayed or unable, so pananglitan ang ilang serve is wala na abot sa ana nga oras or the delay ang ilahang kanang kuan, ang ilang service or next is when the product or service is wrong or poorly done, kung sayop or bati pagka-deliver sa ilang service. So service recovery is what the company does to fix the problem and satisfy the guest again. So, ang service recovery mao ang pamaagi sa kumpanya aron maayo ang problema ug ma-satisfied balik ang guest. So, example, if a customer complains about the wrong food order, the restaurant replaces it immediately and gives a free drink as an apology. So, for example, ang customer is kung nasayop ang pag-deliver or dili mao ang food, dili mao ang gihatag nga order, so ang gibuhat sa kanang restaurant is giilisan dayon og kanang lain nga product nga kato nga order is ang restaurant mo ay nasayop. So usay lang gibuhat, ilang ilisan ang order, and then napa sila gihatag nga free drinks as an apology. So types of service failures. There are 4 main types of service failures. First is failures on service product, when the product or service itself is indicative of poor quality. Second, failures on customer's request delivery, when the staff fails to meet the specific request of the guest. Third, failures on customer service, when the staff behaves rudely or ignore the guest. Failures both by other organization key players, when mistakes come from other departments or team members. So, next is guest responses to service failures. When the guest experience bad service, they usually respond in different ways. So, first, never return. They decided not to come back. Second, complaints. They tell the management or write a review. Third, negative word of mouth. They tell others about their bad experience. So fourth, strike back or get even. Some may post bad comments online or discourage others from visiting. So fourth, service recovery strategies. To handle service failures, organizations should have good recovery strategies such as: first, urge and monitor complaints, encourage guests to share their concerns so issues can be fixed quickly. Second, learn from solutions made, study what worked when solving past problems. So third, learn from lost opportunities. Identify what caused guests to leave and improve from that. So fourth, introduce a service follow-up. Check on guests after the service to ensure satisfaction. So service failures is unavoidable, but what matters most is how the business recovers. So quick actions, respect, and learning from mistakes are key of keeping customers satisfied and loyal. Thank you.